Hi guys, gals, and my non-gender conforming pals. My name is Carrington. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button and click the little bell so you're notified of all our future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. In today's video, I have quite a bit of Profusion products that we're going to dive into. I have two of the blush palettes, and then I have the highlight and contour palette, and then I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. So I have the Emerald, the Mirage, the Nude Bliss, and that comes with like a little brush, and I was kind of surprised. The Starlit, Love Struck, and last is Festival. So we're definitely going to dive into these. So my eyelids are primed using the P. Louise eye base. Again, whatever I don't use from Profusion, because obviously like they didn't have any foundation, stuff like that, I'm just going to be using the Shop My Stash bag. If you guys want to see what's in my Shop My Stash bag, I will leave that down below in case you guys missed that video. But for the eyeshadow palette, I decided to go with the Mirage palette, and the reason being is because when I would see other people use this is like, I was super excited about this, and then when I finally found like Profusion in my Walmart, they like just now started carrying it, I was really excited that this palette was there. So I feel like, why not just start out with your favorite palette? One thing I'm not really digging about this palette is that the shade names are on this little like piece of paper that you just kind of like rip off. So I don't really care for that because I'm gonna lose that like quickly. I'll lose that. But let's go ahead and we're gonna start off with the shade Polite, and we're just gonna take that and kind of dust that all over the eyelids to kind of set the primer. Next up, let's go into the shade Adventurous right here, and that's gonna be for our transition shade. We're gonna use that on a ColourPop E22. That you can get in the Stone Fox brush roll set. Alright, how's everybody doing? Last night, okay, my husband went to bed, I want to say around like 8:30, and next thing I know, it's like 12:30 at night, and I get up to go use the bathroom, and I open up my, first of all, the bedroom door was closed, so I was like, what is going on? That's weird, because I didn't shut it. And then I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I go out there, and like, almost like all the lights are on, and the TV's on, and I'm like, what in the world? I go out there, and there's my husband just sitting there watching TV at like 12:30 at night, and I'm like, honey, what are you doing? And he's like, I couldn't sleep anymore, so I just got up. And I was like, you've only been asleep for like 4 hours. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, and honey, you gotta like get up and start leaving for work at like 4. Like that's in like 3.5 hours. And he's like, yeah. It's like I've tossed and turned since about 12, and I just decided to go ahead and get up. And I was like, oh, okay. And then okay, so I'm gonna move on to another color. I'm gonna go in with Canyon, this right here. So then this morning at like, so I go back to bed, and then this morning at like, I don't know, yeah, at like 4:15, 4:30, we're all, I'm like, you know, getting up with him, help getting him off to work, and then here and I'm trying to get stuff done that I can before I've got to get the kids up and get them ready before I have to go be at work at 7, and I have to leave the destination of where I drop them off at by 6 to make it there on time, and then open on time and all that. So when I got up this morning at like 4 something, he had done a large load of dishes, he like took all the trash out, he like cleaned, and I'm like, man, he must have really been bored. And I was like, did you go back to sleep like at all? And he's just like, nope, and like happy and like jittery and cheerful for only having like 4 hours of sleep. And then Here's me who went to bed at like 8:30 as well, and now waking up at like 4:15, 4:30. So it's like 8 hours of sleep, and I'm like, nobody talk to me. It's too early. Moving right on along. Next I'm gonna take this like purplish shade that's called Marsala. I'm gonna use that on the outer corner. I will say so far these colors are blending really nice. I'm not really having any issues with patchiness. Of course, now we're kind of getting into like a deeper purplyish kind of color, so we'll kind of see how that goes. For the most part, it's working out really well. All right, what about you guys? Are any of you guys like morning people? Are you more of like an evening person? I'm definitely 100% more of like an at night person. Like, I do not like mornings at all. But my husband is and always will be a morning person. Like, even on the weekends when he can sleep in, he's usually up by like 5:30. 6 the latest. I will say for that outer corner shade, it really took some like packing and some blending, but we got there. Just took a little bit more time. I think I want to do this shade all over the lid, and that is Sunset. Okay, so it's nice and smooth. Let's see how well this pops onto the lid. I will say the shade doesn't have like a ton of like base pigment. I feel like this would be better like as a topper, but we got it there. Just took some layering. I kind of want something a little bit more, and it's just like they don't really have like a ton of like really like light shimmers. They're all kind of dark. Let's try let's try taking Captivating, that's right here, and this time I'm gonna try it on a brush. I'm gonna try it on, not that brush, a ColourPop E25. I'm gonna try it not wet and see what we get. So it does pick up quite a lot of product. And then let's see what it looks like when we like tap it on there. Oh. Okay, well, yeah. Picking up on that brush really worked quite well. So yeah, I tried that purple shade that we had went in with originally on this side of the brush, and you're really just not getting a lot on there. And I don't really feel like it yeah. I just feel like with a brush, it's just not as impactful for that shade specifically. So you get 12 shades for sorry. You get 35 shades for $12. That's really not a bad price at all. And the fact is that they did blend nicely together. Some of the colors do take a little bit more work than others. And for a $12 palette and 35 shades, I kind of expected to have to work a lot more than I did. But overall, like, the eye look is turning out really nice. I'm really excited to try using these palettes. I mean, just like, really just like overly just impressed with how well everything worked together. Okay, so now I need to go on, do the rest of my face. I will come back so then we can do the lower lash line and then try out these palettes right here. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back and most of my makeup is finished, so we can now move on to these little Profusion palettes. These were $5 each, so that's pretty affordable. So first, let's start out with the highlight and contour palette. We're going to use that for, there's a setting powder, there is a bronzing powder, and then a highlight. And then we'll choose one of the blushes. Okay, so let's first dip into the shade called Cream Light. We'll just pop that right here where I sat. Well, not where I sat, where I put my concealer. It does have quite a bit of kick up in the pan. It's not terrible. Okay. So the under eyes are actually looking fairly good with that powder. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. Okay, so we have light sculpt and tan sculpt. So I'm gonna go in first, I can find my little brush, with the tan sculpt, and I'm really just gonna focus that for like a contour. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that was like a lot more pigmented than I had anticipated. It does again have a lot of kick up in the pan, but yeah, these are really you know, pigmented. Holy mother bear, holy guacamole. Okay, wow. Okay, first thing that I'm noting, looking up close, so from far away it doesn't look bad, but up close it definitely looks really muddy. Like right here, like it's just very like patchy and very muddy. Let's see if we can blend that out maybe with like the light sculpt mixed with a little bit of the cream light, and just sit here and just kind of work it out and see if that helps any. Okay, I think it helped some, but again, it's just very patchy and very muddy, so I'm not loving that. Let's go ahead and let's pop one of the highlights on. Okay, let me swatch these and see if any of these will work for me. Definitely not that one. So one of these two will work. Let's go into Heartfelt. It's kind of like a little bit more of like a pinkyish color. The highlight does show up very nicely. I will say though, it does kind of set on the skin and really emphasizes a lot of texture. But you know, it's very, you know, nice and blinding. Probably not like the most blinding, but definitely not one of those where you can hardly see it. You can definitely see it. Okay, so let's move on. I've got two blush palettes here. This one kind of seems more of like a orange, and this one's definitely more like a pinky purple. So I think I'm going to go into this blush palette, and I'm going to go into the shade, this one right here called Blossom. So the blush is on. Again, that was very pigmented, and but it wasn't really muddy. It didn't like stick in one spot. It definitely blended out nicely. So now I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my fits. Actually, hold on, we forgot to do the lower lash line. What are we doing, Carrington? Okay, I kind of want to do something a little bit different on the lower lash line. First, I kind of want to take like this pink right here called Clueless. Put that on there, and then just run this along the lower lash line. And now that the pink's all on there, let's take the purple shade called Horizon, and I'm just gonna focus this really close to the lash line. And then for inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Preppy. Okay, and there's the eyes completely done, completely finished. I'm now gonna go off camera, finish off the rest of my makeup, and then we'll be right back so we can talk about what I think of all the products. All right, I am back and the face is finished. This is what we're looking like. All right, let's go over the products. First off, this eyeshadow palette was really good for $12. Okay, this is what you look like with $12. The shades blended beautifully together. There were some shades that did require more work. So like this little pinkish shade, it did require some building up and some working with. The other two that I went into for my crease, no problems, no issues. The shimmers, I found they kind of applied best with a finger, but you know, that one, the darker one, which one is it? This one right here that I went in with. Beautiful with a brush, no problems, no issues. This one down here, I kind of felt like it's more of like a topper, so much than it has like a base pigment to it. But overall, again, beautiful. The lower lash line, beautiful. We went in with these two shades and they worked well together. Overall, this is such a good palette for $12. I have had people, you know, complain that, or I have heard people complain that it's like not, guys, the shade names are on the back. I did not even know that. Fine, okay, whatever. All right, so that they have to work with it more. Guys, 35 shades for $12. I was expecting to have to work with this a lot more than I did. I really thought every shade that I was going to use was going to be patchy, not good, that we were going to come out looking like a train wreck, and we didn't. Like, this turned out so good. I would say if you are a beginner with makeup, and even not a beginner, but let's just say you're experienced, but you really don't have much of a budget for makeup right now because of COVID, and you really just want something that you can maybe go to Walmart or order off Walmart to use that's still going to be like decent quality, go get one of these. I would say, you know, go ahead and go get some of the e.l.f. bite-size sauce, because those are good. Those are good. And those are $3 for 4 shades. But you get 35 shades for $12, and you have a whole wide variety. I will say there's glitters in here, and I didn't really test any of the glitters. Let's swatch a glitter. Okay, so here's a glitter, and then let's swatch it. It's not bad. It definitely just stuck wherever you first put it, but you know, most of the glitter did disappear. Again, you get 35 different shades, ones that work really well together. This is overall really good idea, good palette, and there's like tons more that you can choose from, and some that are even cheaper. So like the emeralds one, this right here is $4.98, so $5. And they had other ones like this, like they had a nude one, a red one, like a whole bunch of different options. So again, definitely go, you know, check this out. Even if you just want a new eyeshadow palette, okay, and you can afford anything, I would still check one of these out and just see what you think. The blush palette, these were really nice. They showed up fairly well. They were not patchy. They didn't stick to one area. Again, these right here were $5. You get 6 blush shades for $5. You get a mixture of some of them are kind of more satiny. Some of them are mattes with glitter. Super good. I had no problems, no issues with these. We'll definitely continue to use this. Okay, the highlight and the contour palette. I will say this setting shade. Why does that sound weird? Setting shade. The setting powder. I thought it looked really nice underneath my eyes. I really had no issues with it. The contour I had a little bit of issue with. It's like, look, it's like just, it's stuck there. No matter how much I blend, it's stuck there. It will not blend at all. But they are pigmented, so I feel like they were a little bit muddy and a little bit patchy and a little bit pigmented in some areas and not others. I do want to kind of try to play around with this a little bit more. The highlight was nice. It just kind of, again, sets on the skin, and they are kind of like very, like, so you can just see all that texture. It just emphasizes the texture. A little bit glittery. So overall, this was probably my least favorite thing that we tried today. Not that it's terrible, but I just think you can find better at the drugstore. Probably not as cheap as this, because again, 6 shades for $5. But I think I need to play with the contour shades a little bit more to see what I can get to work. All right, guys, and that is it for today's video. Let me know down below if you guys have tried out Profusion. What are your thoughts on it? If not, are you guys going to pick anything up from Profusion at your local drugstores? I would love to know. Let me know your guys' favorite palette. So if I don't have your favorite palette over here, let me know. I know they have other products that you can buy, like their There's like a foundation and stuff like that. Let me know if any of those products are any good that I need to check out. And don't forget, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.